Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome, PGP World, to the Nerve Center, the home, the hub of Proving Ground Pro Wrestling, the Pickled Nickel, a.k.a. my garage. Jesse, glad to have you over here. We got the cold beer flowing. We got Jimmy D in the house, and we are getting ready to review this year's Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament.
That's right. It's March. PGP is back, and you know what that means.
More
bracket special. Oh, well, that bracket special kind of just comes with beer, doesn't it?
March Madness and brackets and beer. Damn, and tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. You know I got my green on right now.
Oh, yeah, I got green on somewhere.
All right. Well, anyway, here we are, 2019 Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament. And Jesse, as always, for a great cause, all profits going to Operation Homefront.
Operation Homefront will receive all the profits from this show. We'll get all bills taken care of, and everything we make off the show goes right to Operation Homefront. We've raised a few $100s to upping it to $600. We hope to surpass that this year.
Maybe we can make it up to 1,000 this year. We're hoping.
We're trying for
on you, the fans, to pack the house. The more the house is packed, the more we're donating to Operation Homefront. So plan to come out to this. As they always say, great show for a great cause. Well, this is definitely a hallmark of that old adage.
Oh, definitely. This is one of the best shows you're going to see from us all year long, and we're about to tell you why. I mean, it's an exceptional card for an exceptional cause, and we can't wait to bring it to you live from the Petersburg Fire Department on April 13th, Brady. Are you ready to maybe delve into this?
Let's do it. Let's not get into the brackets just yet.
No. You gotta save it.
As always, in between our tournament matches, there's always some red hot, what we call fillers, but that's probably soft selling what they actually are. These are some absolutely devastatingly cool matches. So let's talk about what people are going to see between the tournament rounds.
Non-tournament action, let's just kick it off with the match a lot of people are talking about. Diamonds Are Forever. Kobe Durst, the Diamond Tiger, the Golden Gun, the Bond villain, the living Bond villain himself, Mark Wheeler, versus our tag team champions, Alpha, Omega, Camaro Jackson, Kenny Alphonse. Two of the best versus two of the best. I'm pumped. I mean, you know I love tag team. I love tag team wrestling. Brady knows I love tag team.
Well, that was one of the pillars we really built this on was a strong tag team division when we first conceived the concept of Proving Ground Pro back in the day. And I think we've done a lot to live up to that. Our current champions, Alpha Omega, oh my God, so athletic, so talented. Velvety smooth with an iron hard fist. I mean, these guys can do it all and have proved it by winning the belts in one of the most competitive independent tag team divisions that I'm aware of here in the Midwest. Well, they do have a challenge, like you say, blowing down from north of the border.
North of the
Diamonds
border.
Are Forever. And I think a lot of our fans are really aware of Kobe Durst. She's been here for a lot of singles action. But Mark Wheeler, he's been in one time, right, Jesse?
One time
so
early in his career. This is an entirely different Mark Wheeler, folks.
Much more veteran savvy, much more tested, much more main event material. And when he and Kobe combined forces, they really found something. So I don't know if the clock's ticking on the title reign for Alpha Omega or not, but I guarantee you, Diamonds Are Forever, not coming from Canada with the thought of not taking the belts back north with them.
Well, Alpha Omega coming out of the gate with their first title defense against two of the best singles independent wrestlers on either side of the border. Now they're teaming up. I mean, instantly getting a tag team title shot here in PGP. It was almost like it was meant to be. Jimmy D, that's no regular Tiger.
That's a Diamond Tiger.
That's right. That's a Diamond Tiger, and the Golden Gun, one shot, one kill, or one shot and an instant kill. I'm telling you, these two guys are gonna bring it like no other. But
I am pumped. But that's not all, Jesse.
No.
That's not all. What else is in between? we're not even gotten to the tournament. What else is in between the tournament matches?
Well, let's talk about two guys that really impressed both of us. Both me and Brady. You know, the Buckley Cup showcases some of the best independent talent in all of Canada, United States, and beyond. Right?
Always has.
Probably all as well. But we love young, up-and-coming talent. We love guys that impress us, that come to us, show up, and show out. Right, Brady?
Absolutely.
And when I was talking to you about let's put two guys on the Buckley Cup that really do that, you brought a guy to my attention that killed it in his Buckley Cup qualifier.
Yeah, Cody Lane.
Yeah, that's right, Cody Lane. So I was instantly like, dude, we got to get him on the show. This is the chance for us to get Cody Lane on the show.
Cody Lane's one of those guys that PGP and Cody Lane hit each other at the right time early in his career. He's kind of because of geography, not as common as you would hope or wish to have seen him here. However, this is a favorite son of PGP. I'm going to tell you right now, we knew big things were going to happen for this guy, and they have been. They have been.
This kid is blowing up in 2019. We always tell you the guys to look out for in 2019. And Jimmy, most of the time, are Brady and I hitting the nail on the head? Are you hitting the nail on the head?
That nail has been hammered right on the head.
Exactly. So this is one of those dudes. If you have not gone to our YouTube, if you weren't at that 01 USA show, if you have not seen that match yet, Craig Mitchell versus Cody Lane is one of the best matches you'll see all year. I know it's early in the year, but it'll stand up, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And Cody Lane is meeting another guy that has really been stepping his game up.
Yeah, a guy that I had to bring to your attention. You know, a guy that really impressed us last year, and you go, you know what, he needs another opportunity to really impress. And now he has that opportunity against a guy like Cody Lane. He stepped in there maybe against the toughest task he's had here in PGP.
Absolutely.
That's Victor Analog, Brady.
Victor Analog, the Technicolor marvel that jumps into that ring.
The cyber assassin.
He is absolutely bringing it. He's upped his offensive arsenal, I would say. And I tell you what, he has become a very impressive competitor. Now, he is looking for that real hallmark win to really set him on a roll, and a win over Cody Lane would probably be that. But like we say, you know, this is a little reminds me of the Menaker in the way that it was all. Well, the Menaker was guys that had never been in PGP, but a lot of them by proxy were young up and comers that hadn't met each other yet, and this has a feel of that type of a match where we got Victor Analog versus Cody Lane, both guys looking for that nice signature win, and I guarantee you both are going to give 100%, and if it's possible, mathematically it's not, but humanly they may go 110%.
It could be a little taste of what we're going to bring you when it's Menaker time. A little spoiler there. It could be a little taste.
One of the great things that I like about Victor Analog, last Petersburg show that we was at, emergency response, I just noticed when I was over there doing the cameras that all of a sudden my phone started acting up a little bit. I had the best Wi-Fi just when he got in the ring. All of a sudden I just got the best Wi-Fi, the best signal I ever had. This guy is that electric.
Wait a minute. He's a walking Wi-Fi hotspot?
That's how hot, that's how electric he is.
He is the hotspot. Victor Analog.
That's right. So, there you have it. 2 out of the 3 announced non-tournament matches.
We call them fillers, but fillers a soft sell. These things are dynamic.
I just want to call it non-tournament matches because, how can you call it a filler match?
Because that's what they are, but I know it doesn't.
You're going to get full on all the action.
I feel like I'm damning it with faint praise, but I'm not. These are unbelievable. And speaking of unbelievable, guess what? We don't have a franchise champion right now, Desi.
It's unbelievable.
KLD.
Get well soon, big man. Get well soon.
We know you're well on the road to recovery as you traverse the trails across the U.S. We've been following you. We know you've been out and about on that healing
It's like the
path.
Lex Express from the 90s. I mean, he's just out everywhere.
You don't know if he's going to be at the Grand Canyon, the Statue of Liberty, or just maybe at a Smoothie King, for God's sakes. Who knows?
You could see him at an NBA game. You could see him at a rock concert. You don't know. One place you'll definitely see him is rehabbing that shoulder, rehabbing that arm, and getting healthy, and going to come back for that franchise title. But
trust me, whoever has it,
Brady,
once he comes back, will have a bullseye painted on them. And that brings us to
don't they always? I mean, if
the-
anybody holds that franchise title, doesn't have a huge bullseye.
It comes with it. Yes, we give them a belt and a large bullseye to put on their back.
Yep,
It's amazing.
it's huge.
So anyway, that brings us to the four competitors that one of these guys is leaving with the franchise title. So that is one hell of a filler match. Let me tell you, that franchise title.
Franchise title match.
Going to be
Tag
great.
team title match. Heck, you could almost say the other matches. This could determine who's in line for a cutting edge title match.
The only reason the cutting edge title isn't on the line is because the cutting edge champs in the
Buckley Cup.
Buckley.
We'll talk about that though.
That's,
We're talking about
the brackets are coming up. It's
We're talking about the franchise
March
title
Madness
right
and
now.
brackets, but franchise title. That's kind of the big enchilada of the night in a lot of ways, even though it's not the time. I mean,
It's a big deal.
it is a huge
It's a big deal. Everybody wants to know who's leaving with the strap. So let's talk about it.
Well, the first thing, let's talk about a little cards always subject to change in the world
Things
of pro
happen.
wrestling. So our boy Jake Lander, the fans' choice,
He's
is
been
giving
offered
an
a big opportunity.
in,
We'll let him talk about that more.
But
at
it's
his,
huge.
and
And trust us, it's huge, and
convenience.
it's there's a good reason he cannot make it
We
to the
understood.
Buckley. So that left an opening in our
Not
forum.
saying the franchise title is not a huge opportunity, but this is a big time opportunity.
We considered just paring it back to a three-way dance when we got a knock on the door from a
guy that won't stop
well-dressed,
knocking on the door.
big man with a loud voice and a lot to say. My God, Jesse, he had
never
a lot
shuts up.
to say.
He doesn't shut up.
Robbie Leach.
And the
I
other-
don't even know. I
don't know.
He almost knew
Jim
that
He's so greasy. Jim had to put safety goggles on.
I tell ya.
He's so
tell
greasy.
ya.
he was. I don't know how he's so tapped into because no sooner did Jake give us the notice that he couldn't make it. I don't know what clairvoyance, Rob. It was with what, an hour? I don't even know that we'd announced it to anybody.
Within the hour, I'm getting a call from the doctor of style himself, Mr. Robert Leach.
He's the analyst. Remember, you can't spell analyst without anal.
And he's anal about his man Dan Liplock. Okay? Anal about the guy. Always wanted him to have the best opportunity. Always wanted to make the most money. We get it. We get it. He's your man. He's your main talent. He's your money maker. We understand. It's your job. But dear God,
I didn't
lose
leave.
my phone number. You call me all the time. What's Dan Liplock's opportunity? I passed him off to Brady. I did.
I come down here to the Pickled Nickel, and I find Robbie hanging outside the door waiting on me with a cross look, disgusted.
I gotta do.
Oh, he did not like this place either. He thought it was dirty.
Seedy.
He made fun of the beer. He said it was nothing like Passaic.
This is
New
the
Jersey.
manager.
I've never been to Passaic, New Jersey.
Brady.
I don't even know how nice that is. He said this was way worse.
Brady. This is the manager of Dan Liplock. I mean, that's a greasy fella. He's a low-life fella. I mean, he's kind of just. I mean,
He
and
said
they were bagging on the Pickled Nickel pretty hard.
it was pretty bad, but.
But
I'll tell you what I did, Jesse.
I
Just
know.
to get them the hell out of there, we're back to a four-way.
so this is what happened, folks. We'll lay it out for you. Robert Leach would not leave me alone. I passed him off to Brady. Brady really wanted to enjoy a nice ice-cold beer in the Pickled Nickel. He got tired of hearing Robert Leach. So he put
I gave in. Dan Liplock will have a chance in the four-way to possibly be guided
What
to
have
the
you done?
franchise title
Jimmy
by,
E, what has he done?
by the analyst himself,
Jimmy, do you realize that our franchise champion, Jimmy D, I'm not even talking to the camera right now. I gotta look over here to Jimmy D because I'm so
I gotta give Jimmy
upset
D
about
the
this.
microphone because I think he can't believe what I've done either. Hand me that Jim Beam, Jimmy D.
Our
Exactly.
franchise champion could be Dan Liplock.
You two talk. I need another
He's
beer.
so greasy, I don't even know if the belt would stay on his waist.
All I'm gonna
Jimmy.
say is if Dan Liplock and Robbie, think about this. Think about this.
I've already thought about it. It
Robbie
keeps me up
Leach.
at night, Jimmy.
Robbie Leach, 24 hour. Wait a minute. Dr. Robert Leach.
Yeah, use the doctor.
24/7. Brady, we're going to need about 6 more bottles of this.
I got it upstairs, Jimmy.
Yes. Excuse me for a second, guys.
Hey, here's a tip for all the youngsters out there. Whenever you're putting a beer in a koozie, don't open the beer first. Keep it closed because then it keeps a certain amount of rigid stability, so you can really get in that koozie quick. So let me take care of that here real fast, and then we're going to move on to the next competitors in the franchise title.
We're not just talking about bracketology here. We're not just talking about everything
No,
that's
we're-
happening in between the Buckley Cup
Giving
round.
you life hacks, tips
We're
for
giving
better
you
living.
tips for your life here. But here's a tip, Brady. Stop giving in to Dan Liplock. Stop giving in to Robbie Leach. You're making my life hell. But yes, we're back to a 4-way. So there you have it, folks. Jake Lander, huge opportunity. We're wishing him best of luck. We wish he could be here. I'm a little sad he's not because now I'm stuck with Dan Liplock with a huge opportunity to become franchise champion, and I'm not. Okay, let's talk about
Do
the
we
other guy.
really have to
This
worry
is-
about Dan becoming champ? Because listen to these next 3 names that we have lined up. So honestly, Jesse,
I'm going to say
I'm
this.
not that concerned.
I'm going to say this with. I didn't ever think that Dan Liplock would get to this point where he may get a franchise title match. But every time I count Dan Liplock out, every time I think I have Dan Liplock cornered, because he runs his mouth too much with his doctor of style,
He's slippery. It's the baby oil.
he finds another way to wiggle his way into an opportunity and he delivers. So I'm not going to count him out, man.
All
Okay?
right. Well, you know who might count him out? Baracus.
That's a scary son of a bitch.
I say the new age
Back to reality. There we go,
Sky
Baracus.
Point. King Kong Bundy.
Brady, I just would like to go on record right now saying Baracus is my new favorite wrestler, especially if he's facing Dan Liplock.
You may have to peel Dan Liplock up off the mat like a steamroller ran over.
You may
him.
have to peel every competitor in this match up off of the ground. I mean, every single guy. This guy is an absolute animal. He's a monster. The only time he has lost in almost 2 years in PGP is to what now is our former franchise champion, Kevin Lee Davidson. And even Kevin shook his hand when it was over because he knew he went through a war with a big, massive, scary man.
A monster.
I'm not so worried anymore.
A monster.
Our new champion could be Baracus. Maybe I am a little scared. Jimmy?
You know the one thing Baracus does not have? He's got size, he's got strength,
He has.
he's got intimidation, but the one thing he doesn't have, a sense of humor, and that's why he does not like Dan Liplock.
Well, I'll tell you, Baracus is one scary individual. Look at our YouTube archives. We attempted to have a couple interviews with him, and well, I miss you, Cody Springer. I hope you're
Sky
okay. I think he's up to
Rest
3
in
meals
peace,
a day
Cody.
now. I think they're letting him eat solid food, actually. So, get well soon, Cody Springer.
Well, here's the thing. The only time I've ever seen this man smile is like when he's hurting people. Like, I've seen him smile inside a PGP ring. I've seen him wave at the fans. But he was also hurting somebody.
That was decimating a
human
human.
being. It makes him happy. I think.
Hey, wait. It's Colonel Gimp on the phone. Hang on a second, people.
Hold on. We have our first caller.
Colonel Gimp, you're on the call-in line as we're filming live the PGP bracket special. What's up, buddy?
He could be sitting in his pick. We're waiting to see here.
Oh, we are going to film this, and if you're ready to roll, we're going to come down the hill to get you, buddy. Well, gosh dang, good enough. Thanks for the warning. Guys, lock the door. Gimpy's on the way up.
I heard he wants to protest.
All right, bud. Well, we're working on that. We're barricading the doors now, so good luck
We're going to
getting
take
through.
a short break to barricade the door, and we'll be right back there with you.
All righty.
I heard
At Huebner Tire in Petersburg, Illinois, you'll find a wide variety of tires for your automotive as well as recreational vehicle needs. Plus, services and accessories all at an affordable cost with great hometown service. So come on down to Huebner Tire, your tire people.
That brings us back from commercial break, Brady. We wanted to thank our great sponsors that helped bring this thing to a head here. We can't forget Huebner Tire,
Nope.
Styles and More here in Petersburg,
Oh, you've been with us since day one?
Brown's Barbershop,
Oh, they are so great to us.
the Riverbank Lodge,
Oh, I love that place.
the hotel out there at the FS gas station,
The Fast Stop Motel.
Fast Stop
Oh,
Hotel.
yeah.
You cannot pick a nicer scenic view for some deer watching.
Heck no. You're right next
And
to the
then
Shuttle
Sangamon
Park.
Valley Signs for bringing us all our great artwork and all the wonderful posters you guys see every month from us here at PGP. Thank you very much. And let's get back into it. We were talking about Baracus being the
Baracus.
possible franchise champion.
Crushing Dan Liplock, but if Baracus is busy crushing Dan Liplock, he may find himself in trouble not paying attention to Mr. PGP,
Mr.
Danny
PGP.
Adams, a true
millennium.
opportunist.
Brady, I just want to go on record to saying that Baracus and Danny Adams are two of my all-time favorite wrestlers, especially not Dan Liplock. Baracus and Danny Adams, I love you guys.
There you have it. Jimmy D picking anybody but Dan Liplock.
Continuing with his theme of no Dan Liplock.
He was highly against the Dan Liplock.
But Mr. PGP,
we're talking
Danny Adams, talk about a guy on a roll and a guy, well, not really on a roll on PGP as much as outside of PGP. Inside of PGP, where he's Mr. PGP, this son of a gun is so frustrated you could fry an egg on his head.
He's had an up and down year. I mean, he had, to most people, it might have been a solid win-loss record, but to us here in PGP, you know, we were looking a little bit past Danny Adams. But our franchise champion, Kevin Lee Davidson, brought that to our attention when we were talking about doing this four-way and who the best competitors would be and the guys that really represented the next wave of PGP talent. And he said, how can you deny Mr. PGP? The guy that has kind of thrown this company on his back a little bit and preaches to the choir what a great place it is to work, even though he hates your guts.
Danny, despite the fact that he's been here so long, he went from dark matches to tag team champion to a member of No New Friends to competing for the franchise belt. This guy's just never warmed up to me, Jesse. I've always liked him.
You always have.
I
You always
can't
been a
win
fan of
over.
his talent.
I try.
You never had a problem with his attitude, but he just doesn't like you as a human being.
I know. I keep thinking, what is it about me that Danny doesn't like? But there's something there. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You'll have to ask Danny Adams on April 13th live from the Petersburg Fire Department when we bring you the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament.
You think if I bought an 8x10 and had him sign it, would he sign something nice or would it be mean?
I wouldn't even attempt it. It could hurt your feelings.
You're probably right.
It could send you into
It
an
would cost me
emotional
money.
breakdown.
It would cost me money and hurt my
More
feelings.
money in therapy than it would be for
Yeah.
the picture.
Danny, come on,
Why don't you
come
just
around
go
on
hand him
me.
some money? He likes that.
What if I made him my favorite in this match? What if I made him my pick, even though I'm gonna tell you who my pick is next?
But if he were to lose, he'd probably blame you for you picking him.
And you want to know some odd coincidence? My pick goes by the nickname Ice Pick.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Ice Pick.
Sounds like a true legend to me.
More than a true legend. This dude is honestly, I can't believe, and
I'm
I don't
excited for
understand why this guy isn't on a bigger level already. I don't know why he isn't already working at NXT or training as a head trainer for the Fed or in a big WWN live spot with a belt or Ring of Honor or one of these places that's getting a little bit of TV time, because this guy is that caliber. This guy is that good. And this guy's stood toe-to-toe and has victories over the who's who and cream of the crop of the indie indie who's who over the last 15 years, yeah, all those big names. This guy is Vic Capri, and he is coming in with his eyes on the PGP franchise title.
Some say that Chicago is the greatest wrestling city in the United States. And Brady and I have been there, and it's hard to dispute it. But, Jimmy D, I mean, you can weigh in on this. Chicago is one of the greatest cities for wrestling, period, right?
I tell you what, when I first moved out here to the Midwest, I mean, that was my home away from home was Chicago, and see some of the best, some of the greatest, and Vic Capri. See, I'm so nervous right now I can't even say his name right.
That's because he's got a nickname like the Ice
The
Pick.
Ice Pick is one of the best of the best, and I want to go on record. I just want to go on record saying that Vic Capri is my favorite wrestler, along with Baracus and Danny Adams.
But
Not Dan Liplock? Not a chance.
Okay, let's talk about.
So there you go. Let's talk about it.
I mean, this is one of the greatest wrestling cities in the world, is my point, and he has been a main eventer there for damn near his whole career. The fact that he's been to Ring of Honor, and he's been to WWE, and he's been to TNA. I mean, the laundry list is unbelievable of the places he's worked and been through the door and not caught on amazes me. But a place where he's a true legend is right here in Illinois and right there in Chicago. And Brady and I know that. And we're lucky enough to work. This is like when you have a guy like Tyson Dukes come through the door, who, when you go to Canada and you say Tyson Dukes, oh, he's the man. That's the guy.
That's the guy that the guys in the back go, oh, wow, when they hear the name. Maybe some of the fans don't, because the world of independent wrestling has so many people in it that you can get lost in the names. It's easy, I understand. I don't fault anybody. But you go to the back, you go to the dressing room and talk to the boys, and you say a name like Vic Capri. Sometimes you don't even need them to answer. Just the look in their eyes tells you the answer already.
Sometimes it's respect, sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's just plain out admiration. But it's a guy that's never stopping, guys. Jimmy, Brady, this guy's never stopping. He's not settling. He just did his first tour of Japan, for God's sake, and killed it.
I'm just hoping that Vic Capri hits Dan Liplock so hard that Dan Liplock becomes Dan Lockjaw. Can't talk no more.
How about Dan Lipless?
Yes.
Just thought I'd throw it out.
But there you got it, folks. You have four, whether we like Dan Liplock or not, four of the best independent talents right now. From young,
three of the best independent talents
guys,
and Dan Liplock.
Yeah. What Brady said. But Danny Adams, Baracus, Vic Capri, Dan Liplock, this thing's going to be awesome. A little bit of something for everyone, and a chance for one of these guys to walk out of here franchise champion in one of the biggest moments of the year to start this thing off.
And as long as the impossible doesn't happen, everything's golden.
I'm going to say a little prayer every night before I go to bed.
I'm going to say a lot of prayers.
All right, Jimmy, hand me that liquor bottle. We're about to talk about the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament brackets.
I don't know if it's the Jim Beam that Brady needs to talk about the brackets, or the fact that we mentioned Dan Liplock's name too much.
A little of both. Some from column A, some from column B, Jesse.
Dan Liplock.
Set that back over there. We're saving that for Shane Saber.
Oh.
You better get a barrel of that.
Yeah.
You know why I said that? First contestant I'm going to mention
Shane Saber.
In the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament.
He's sailed around the world multiple times. He can drink a barrel of rum in a single evening.
That's why that half a bottle of rum is just a warm-up.
Yeah, just a swig.
Let's not forget Canada's greatest beard. He's got the best beard in Canada.
I mean,
does he use like a beard oil or a beard wax, or what does he do to maintain that, you think?
I think it's the salty seawater.
That could be. You ever seen somebody with a beard of bees?
Yeah.
That's really scary.
I've seen it.
I don't know. The beard just got me thinking of it. It has nothing
We're getting off.
We're totally off.
We're getting off.
Anyway, yeah, let's get back. Shane Saber.
Shane Saber. The best kept secret maybe in Canada that's everybody's starting to learn about. I mean, I think more and more people are starting to open their eyes and
He's
realize
no secret
that's
to the
no
PGP
secret.
fans,
He's
Jesse.
no secret to the PGP fans.
That's good stuff.
He performed in one of my favorite matches that I've ever seen in Proving Ground Pro. Mance Warner versus Shane Saber. Look it up. It was a Buckley Cup qualifier, and that's kind of what brought Shane to the head. I mean, he's part of Alpha One's tag team champions. He was the first ever Black Label Pro tag team champion with his partner Space Monkey, another man that's no stranger to the PGP crowd, floating around out there in space.
The Space Pirates.
The Space Pirates.
Yeah.
But Shane's branching out. He's sailing his own ship this time, down the rivers, through the Great Lakes, right into PGP's door, knocking on that Buckley Cup door.
It's amazing he can make it up the Sangamon River in that boat, but somehow he's going to do it.
Could have a day.
Hey, look, we landed Space Monkey's capsule here. We can get Shane Saber's boat up the Sangamon River. And you know what? We need to get it here because he's going to be facing a real deal.
The real deal, Derek Neal. Talk about a guy that had an explosive breakout year in PGP in 2018. Starting with the Sam Miniker Invitational, went all the way to the finals.
Inaugural.
Beat an awesome, just amazing talent in Airwolf, a guy that's exploding all over the independent scene. And he followed it up with another win, and then a huge win against Jake Durden, former franchise champion, current cutting edge champion. I mean, there's not a lot of things this dude has not done in PGP. I mean, he's looking for that third franchise title right now. He's chasing the Buckley Cup for it. But Derek Neal beat him, almost shattered his dreams, and qualified as the first man in this thing.
Absolutely. It did. It shocked Durden and
Shocked a lot of the PGP fans.
Shocked the PGP fans. Didn't really shock me though, because I tell you what, I saw him walk through that Medicare field, and dude, there were some studs in that tournament. I'm telling you right now, it's all on YouTube, kids. If you haven't been there, if you haven't watched it, you go back and check this out. This was one hell of an ass-kicking SOB, Derek Neal. And then he beat Jake Durden? Are you kidding me? This may well be the favorite to win this whole tournament, Derek Neal.
And Brady, I believe that Derek Neal also owns one of PGP's most illustrious records. The quickest win in PGP history. Was that over at the Miniker Invitational?
Yes, quickest victory in PGP history. I mean, the ring announcer didn't even have a chance to step off the ring yet, and he had knocked a guy out and finished him off.
Check it out on that YouTube.
And that's no joke, folks. That's no lightweight. That's not some pushover. He caught one of the best going with a shot and ended it that quick. So Shane Saber has a tough task for himself. He may go back to Canada a very happy man, or he could sail back a very drunk, unhappy pirate.
Well, I mean, if I had to, share a ring with Dan Liplock in it, I'd be a drunk pirate too.
He doesn't have to be in the ring with Dan, for God's sake.
I'd be in a building with him.
Well, that's enough. I see where you're going.
That's why I'm planning on getting drunk.
Fair enough. Your obsession with hating Dan Liplock is reaching epic proportions, Jim.
Epic proportions.
My hate is lovely.
All right, so we got another. Okay, well, that's only one pairing out of four.
One pairing. That's just
That's
one
our first bracket.
matchup.
March Madness bracketology. That's our first bracket. Shane Saber versus Derek Neal. But the next match brings a guy that, I'll tell you what, I love this kid. He is so talented. And not only the stuff we've seen here in PGP, but we've seen him on some glory shows and some other places where he has absolutely blown the place up. I'm talking about Tyler Matrix.
Tyler Matrix has impressed us every place we've ever seen him, not just here in PGP. And that's what we want you to understand out there in the wrestling world. We're not just going to talk about PGP and the resume they have here. We're going to talk about other companies because we don't mind putting them over. They're good companies. We don't mind you. We're going to only put over the ones we think you should buy a ticket to sometime. But this kid has impressed us from the time we saw him in Glory Pro to the time we got him to walk through the doors at PGP. I mean, impressive. If you haven't seen Tyler Matrix in person yet, you're missing out. This is one of those guys, you better come down to the fire department and see him because you're going to go, oh shit, it's Monday and Tyler Matrix is on my TV.
I'll tell you what, you are absolutely correct. And if you haven't caught up with Tyler Matrix yet, maybe hit your Google machine, your YouTubes, maybe catch up on the kid. But most importantly, be at the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament and you're going to get an education. However, all those accolades, all that description, everything we just said, you could almost peel Tyler Matrix's name up and put down the name Rich Homie Juice AJ Gray, and all that would be accurate. Except AJ Gray is one bigger and stronger. I'll tell you what, this dude is huge.
I have to tell you, Brady, he's just as agile, just as quick, but the power difference is there, man. And
he's got to have 50 pounds on Tyler, I got to think.
I mean, he's a huge man. When you see him in person, you don't think that he's going to be as big as he is, and he's a powerful man, and you don't know it until you get in the ring with him. And Tyler Matrix is going to find that out. Right. This is a first-time ever matchup anywhere, folks, and we're bringing to you in the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament. Did we mention Derek Neal versus Shane Saber? First-time matchup anywhere, folks. You're only going to find it in Proving Ground Pro, and you're only going to find it at the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament. But AJ Gray, that's a guy that gets me pumped, Brady. That's a guy that gets me excited. You know how much I love Rich Homie Juice. He reminds me of a dude that I loved through my childhood, Too Cold Scorpio. If you weren't a fan of ECW, I'm sorry for your luck. But I know I was, I know Jimmy was, I know Brady was. Hell, Brady was at the first ever ECW pay-per-view.
Let me tell you an ECW guy that Rich Homie Juice reminds me of. Mike Awesome.
If you took Too Cold Scorpio and you took the genetics of Mike Awesome and you whipped it up in a batch, it would spit out Rich Homie Juice. That's how just phenomenal this guy is. He's going to blow up in 2019. If you've not seen him live yet, if you've not had the opportunity to experience this man live,
he's worth a tank of gas, maybe a tank and a half if you've never seen him before.
And it's for a good cause. You're going to get to see every one of these talents. You're going to see an awesome show. And you're going to know that your money helped go to a good cause. You can feel good about it.
Hell yeah.
I think you can write that shit off.
And that's just our second bracket. Bracketology. March Madness.
AJ Gray, Tyler Matrix. Could be a show stealer, Brady.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about something that could be a show stealer.
Well, first off, I'm going to say the guy that surprised me the most by winning a qualifier. Now, yeah, surprise. I'm just going to go with the word surprise. That's not me damning with faint praise, because this guy has shown us that he has incredible ability in that ring. He has a killer instinct. He's a mean little bastard, too, as well as being talented. And he can go all night long, and that is Kevin Geiza.
Well, you're going to hear talented the whole bracketology special, because all these guys are very, very talented. But a guy that really is cunning and smarter than I thought, and a guy that really pulled out a huge victory, maybe one of the biggest victories of his career, in beating Airwolf to qualify for this year's Buckley Cup.
I didn't see it coming, honestly.
Kevin Geiza. I mean, this guy has impressed us in tag team action. He's impressed us in singles action. He's impressed us at other shows. Of the other shows we've talked about. I mean, he impresses us every week. We see him at IWA Mid-South. I mean, this guy is slaying it every place he goes. But against a guy as talented as Airwolf, I mean, I really kind of considered him the underdog.
I did too. I had penciled Airwolf into the brackets. I'm not going to kid you. I had to flip the pencil over, and I was like, damn, it's a golf pencil. I had to look for another pencil, found one with an eraser, erased Airwolf, and put in Kevin Geiza, because, hey, everything Jesse said is true. Kid is impressive. And anytime you want to try to count him out, I'm going to just tell you from experience, don't count this kid out.
Well, I've gone back and I've done some of my homework. I mean, watching all of these guys, watching their matches back, when Brady and I were trying to discuss who wasn't going to be in who was going to be in this tournament, who wasn't going to be in this tournament, who had already qualified compared to who we were going to put in as at-large bids, calling Jimmy drunk, wasted after hours of tape, and getting his opinion. And sometimes
he'd say, "Stop calling me."
Yeah.
Other times he'd scream, "I hate damn live live." We wouldn't even know why.
And then I would get drunk and wasted too.
But a lot of times we had a lot of good info for each other. We really got each other's back on this list of dudes. And Kevin Guyza, I mean, is a guy that more than anything, after I've watched the tape, deserves to be there. He's one of the best technical wrestlers you're going to see in the Midwest and beyond. And he's another one of those guys. Expect big things in 2019. Not in PGP, not in just the wrestling world, not in just your supermarket down the street. I mean, in the whole world. This guy is going to be huge. I'm telling you.
Next big thing.
And then that brings us to a big thing.
And remember, I said, don't ever count Kevin Guyza out. I'm absolutely already counting him out because he is facing Aaron Orion.
Heavy hitter. As Brady likes to say, he brings the
Heavy lumber, but the whole lumber company.
whole lumber company. I mean, this guy's splitting the logs himself, cutting the trees down. I mean,
He doesn't need a log
this
splitter.
is a big man.
He'll headbutt a log in half. He'll chop a log in half with his hand. He'll stare a log in half just with a mean look.
And he's tearing it up from the Canadian border all the way through the U.S. I mean, every place this guy goes, he has absolutely made a name for himself, including here at PGP. The one time he came in, we were so impressed. We drove to another show we had no part of just to see this guy live.
And as a former Army veteran, the Ryan Buckley Memorial Tournament has a little extra special meaning for Aaron. He expressed that to us. So
He was excited.
He doesn't go anywhere unprepared. He's coming here with extra oomph, extra motivation, a little extra something because of the cause and because of the prize. So,
Oh yeah.
Aaron Orion might be your favorite to win this. I don't know where we're stacking this. Derek Neal, maybe. Aaron, I don't. Look, this is tough to call. I'm not kidding you, but the resume's there, the motivation's there, and if you haven't caught up with this dude, he is one double tough SOB. Meaner than a rattlesnake and tougher than shoe leather, as they say.
Oh yeah,
Jesse.
he expressed to me how honored and excited he was to be in this tournament, and then we had to express back to him how honored and excited we were to have him in this tournament. As a veteran of the U.S. Army, former sergeant, that's right, field gunnery artillery sergeant.
Yeah.
This guy has served our country, and that's where he got his work ethic, right there in the military, and he's shown it. He has come out of the military and done exactly what he wanted to do and try to live his dream, and that's right, folks. I mean, it makes you feel good. It gives you goosebumps because this dude is living the American dream. He went and served our country, so he's a hero there, and now he's a hero to everybody else inside the ropes. I'm excited to have him because he could win the whole damn thing.
I absolutely.
This isn't just some guy we got because he's a veteran. This is a guy that is legitimately one of the best damn talents on the independents. One of the best unsigned talents on the independents.
It's not because he's a veteran, he just happens to be, and for him, it was even more motivation.
It made us even more excited.
But there we go. That's our third bracket. Bracketology. March Madness. We're putting it all together.
We're getting
three huge one-on-one matches.
Brother.
And now we're down to the final matchup. The final that rounds out the 8 competitors. And a guy that's coming back to the proving ground, and we are excited to see him. Perhaps one of the best all-around technical wrestlers that's ever been in the proving ground. I tell you what, you want to check the YouTube, want to look him up, you're not going to argue with me after you see it. Hakeem Zane, back and looking to win the entire Ryan Buckley tournament and parlay that into a
Jimmy Dean has put his
run.
sunglasses on. Why have you put your sunglasses on, Jimmy Dean?
Because Hakeem Zane, his mother calls him son because he shines like one. The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Hakeem Zane, that's my pick.
Oh man, Jimmy D busting it out. We haven't even got to the part where he's so excited about Hakeem Zane being in this thing. He doesn't care to talk about Dan Liplock anymore, and he's throwing his pick out before we even get to the picks.
Well, I tell you what, it's hard to say he's wrong because Hakeem Zane has every qualification, has checked every mark on the resume, and has every bit of ability to absolutely not just win this tournament, but dominate it, honestly.
This is one of those guys we couldn't believe that we could even get for this tournament. I mean, he is everywhere you can think of, including your TV, folks. Hakeem Zane is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Period. I've been alive for 35 years, and Brady knows I'm a huge, huge wrestling fan. I mean, it's not a gimmick. We're fans of the sport.
Technically,
And I have said, technically, he is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen.
he's technically sound. He's silky smooth. He is aerobically fit to go all night long.
Think out of the House of Truth.
Strong. He is, I believe, out of the House of Truth.
If so, I mean, that may be the best guy they've ever produced, besides Jake something.
And if he's not, well, you know, good job, Truth Martini, for making us think he was.
Yeah.
And if he is, you keep producing some serious shit up there, which is fantastic. Anyhow,
But
Hakeem Zane, as good as he is, he will be facing the monster that used to live on top of the mountain.
the monster that's
The monster that fought
Scratching
his
and
way
clawing.
back into this tournament after being defeated by Derek Neal. He found the back door in. He defeated Mike Outlaw. He got the cutting edge belt, and he knew that the cutting edge champion is always part of the field of 8 in the Buckley Memorial Tournament. And that is our reigning cutting edge champ, Dirty Jake Durden, Jesse.
this is the toughest first round matchup to call, Brady. It could go either way, and that's because Jake Durden may be the best franchise champion we've ever seen. He may be one of the best wrestlers that have ever walked through the doors of PGP, and that's high praise because there's been a lot of them. There's been a lot, folks. You can check our track record. You can look it up on YouTube. You can see the history. Hell, just in this tournament, there's been a lot. Jake Durden is one of the best talents walking the face of the earth, and we put him in the first round against one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in my damn life.
He's there, and since Jake came back to PGP, it's really been a mixed bag. He's had
His
a
ups and his downs.
couple of huge signature wins and a couple of massive losses.
But some say outside of PGP and it started with the big Mike Outlaw win in PGP at 01 USA when they had that bar burner for 30 minutes, a classic you can catch on YouTube, brought to you by your friends at PGP, hosted at 01 USA.
Hey, love you guys. Hey, Dave. Hey, Chris. Hey, Winkle. We know you're
PGP
watching
cutting
too.
edge title match. Jake Durden started rolling, and folks, he's been on a roll. Cape champion, PGP cutting edge champion, killing it in St. Louis Anarchy. I mean, this guy is blowing up.
Yeah, since the dissolution of the National Wrestling League, and Durden's back on the indie scene now with no exclusive contract, he's as good as no, let me rephrase that. He's better than I've ever seen him, but I think the competition is tougher than I've ever seen it at this point also. So, a little like when Tiger Woods came onto the scene and other golfers had to raise their game to start to compete with him, Durden has been on the scene, and some of our other wrestlers have raised their game. So it is going to be a tough climb back to the top for
you gotta
Durden.
say,
Hey Brady, you know what golf and Robbie Leach both have in common?
Damn lip lock.
They both put me to sleep.
Oh,
that was pretty good, Jimmy. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good joke. Jimmy D here for all your joking needs, but let's get back to talking about Jake Durden and and PGP. When he came back to Proving Ground Pro, it was almost like he walked into a whole nother locker room. He walked into a whole nother place. There's a couple familiar faces, but the guys he had went to war with, they're not here as much. And there are different guys that are ready to go to war with him along with everybody else here. I mean, this place has become one of the most competitive companies you can ever imagine to see because of the talent that we bring in here.
Absolutely, and Jake, I would say maybe the single most motivated person in this tournament, because I know from talking to him that he is determined. I mean, all capital letters, determined to work his way back to the franchise title. He feels that's his, but honestly, he was not pinned when he took a contract and gave the belt away.
And it's not just about
and that pains him
and
to this day.
And it's not just about the franchise title, because that does pain him, but it's not just about the franchise title. It's about the Buckley Cup. He knows who's won that Buckley Cup. He knows where they've been. He knows what they've done. He knows guys that haven't even won this thing make their way to every Wednesday night sometimes.
Absolutely. So
But Jake Durden knows the value of the Buckley Cup, and he, out of all of the years he's been with us, he's competed in almost every Buckley Cup, besides the one that he handed over the franchise title to Stephen Wolf.
he sat and watched the whole thing from the sidelines and handed the belt away.
He told me he always wanted to be in that tournament, but when he handed that belt over, he said if he ever came back, he was going to get his title back and he was going to win that Buckley Cup tournament on his way to doing it. Well, he's got that opportunity. He's won the cutting edge title, and nobody thought he'd do it because didn't think he'd beat Mike Outlaw.
I saw the opportunity slip away at the hands of Derek Neal, and how he was able to beat Mike Outlaw at 0-1. I mean, both amazing, impressive, and kind of like inspirational in a way, because you see a dude with a dedicated plan and the ability of a Durden, the focus, and that was the first step on his way. So Hakeem Zane's got his hands more than full in the final bracket.
But Durden's got his hands more than full. I mean, he's one of the best technical. Jimmy D picked Hakeem Zane for a reason.
I can't discount
I am a huge Jake Durden fan. I mean, there's a reason that he's here a lot, and we enjoy his talent. But he's not the guy I'm going to pick, Brady. That first round matchup, it's just hard. He's been 2 up, he's been 2 down. I can't pick him to win this whole thing.
I hear you.
I gotta tell you, I mean, I agree. I've got all the love and respect for Dirty Jake Durden. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people know this, you might not. Before I started working for PGP, I was a paying fan. I came down to the shows every month, I think one of my first shows was the first ever Buckley Memorial Tournament. And it was guys like Jake Durden that kept me buying those tickets to come back to the show every month. I mean, he's one of the best, but I mean, I gotta say, I think Hakeem Zane is going to make an impact at the Buckley Cup this year. See what I did there?
I like the way you used impact in there, Jesse. That might clue a few people in, or you might find Hakeem down then.
Well, let's get down to it. We've talked about the brackets. We've talked about everything in between the first round matches. Let's talk about your pick, Brady. We know that he's picked Hakeem Zane. Let's hear it, Brady. Who's your pick to win this whole thing?
The man who's fought and clawed and scratched his way back in. I'm going straight against Jimmy D in the first round. One of us is going to be wrong. I'm picking Jake Durden.
That's a big time pick. That's a stud to strap your.
Look, I could
pick to.
literally. This is so tight. I feel like I could just put all the names in a hat, pull a name out, and feel real confident with my pick. I wouldn't be scared with any one of these names, but you want me to pick one? I've watched the man perform. I know the motivation he's got right now, and I'm going with the monster that used to live on top of the mountain, looking to move back there again.
Hey Brady, I got a gentleman's bet for you. How about if Hakeem Zane wins this match against Jake Durden, and LeBlanc, here he comes, franchise champion. If Hakeem Zane wins, you have to interview Dan LeBlanc. And if Jake Durden wins, then I gotta interview Dan LeBlanc. Gentleman's bet.
I'll get you a better gentleman's bet. I'll buy a 12-pack of Pabst for us to split to celebrate Jake's win. How about that for a non-bet bet, Jim? Meanwhile, trust me, I've looked at the lineup. You don't have to worry about Dan Liplock becoming franchise champion.
Oh, God, I hope not. And I tell you what, that sounds like a much better and less painful bet.
Oh, I knew you'd see it my way. Jesse, who's your guy, man? We know where me and Jim stand, and we're locked in on one damn match in the first round.
It's hard.
Are you joining us in this match somewhere?
I'm going against the grain, boys. It's hard for me to pick against Derek Neal because the guy has shown he can beat an impressive field.
I can't blame you. I was this close to.
But I gotta go with the guy that's shown me the work ethic and, quite frankly, one of the hardest hitting guys I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna pick the Cinderella story. I'm going with Aaron O'Ryan.
I can't argue with what I've seen.
I'll say this. I'll say this to the PGP audience. All right. If Aaron O'Ryan doesn't beat Kevin Guys in the first round, I'll pick Guys to win the whole thing. Because that kid, if he beats Aaron O'Ryan in the first round, he's got the goods, man.
Fair enough.
It's hard for me to pick against that first round matchup, but I'm
tell you
going with
what.
Aaron O'Ryan, folks.
Hey, and like I said, there's no wrong answer in this. Like I said, you could blind draw me in a bag, and I'd feel comfortable with any name I came up with. Because trust me, every name in this tournament has a chance to.
That's right. You heard me. I'm going with AJ Gray.
Wait a minute, Jesse. I could have sworn you said Aaron O'Ryan.
I did. Yeah. I said Aaron O'Ryan.
Or Kevin Guyza if he beat O'Ryan.
Yeah, Kevin Guys is going to win it.
And now you're with it. Wait a minute.
Shane Saber could win the whole thing. He's going to win it, folks. Going with Shane Saber.
Well, Jesse, you were taking the entire field besides the Hakeem Zayn match and Jake Durden.
Hey, Jiminy Christmas.
Tyler Matrix.
Is he going to pick Space Monkey next?
Space Monkey's not in this.
Doesn't matter.
Shane Saber's coming solo.
Maybe Shane's getting his ship here via spaceship.
Shane does not land in the space capsule. He has his own ship. It's coming up to Sangamon.
Talk about guys that can fly through space and time. Tyler Matrix, that guy's a high flyer. That's my pick.
No reason Tyler Matrix couldn't win this.
So there you have it. Aaron O'Ryan, Tyler Matrix, Shane Saber, Derek Neal, AJ Gray, Kevin Guyza, Hakeem Zayn, Jake Durden, your 8 Buckley Cup Memorial Tournament contestants. Sorry, got a little tongue twisted. Brady bailed me out.
No problem. That's our field of 8 for the 2019.
You got your first round matchups.
Tournament.
They are some doozies. You got everything in between. And you never know if we're going to bring you some surprises. It's PGP.
And it's independent wrestling, so cards
always
subject to
subject
change.
to change.
All right, kids. We'll catch you next time with our next special from the headquarters of Proving Ground Pro right here in the Pickle Dickle.